begin this episode seeing Deborah try some new comedic material amongst her staff, and it looks like, it's not going over so well. She gets news that her ex-husband has passed away and there will be a memorial service in his honor. Jimmy informs her that she probably shouldn't speak at the event. It's probably not a good idea to do so. But our girl Deborah, she claims she's not, but clearly she will. Next, we see everyone at the event, and Deborah is walking through an old soundstage, and apparently her and her ex worked on the show, and he didn't give her complete credit for it, which I think is absolutely awful. So as she walks through and gets reunited with people of her past, she begins to really reflect on that relationship and realize how many times she was taken advantage of. And she's drinking, so this isn't good. So when it came time for people to say a few words about Frank, she gets up and basically goes up on the stage, rants about how horrible he was, and caps it off with, his family also owned slaves. Oh, yikes, Deborah, this just wasn't a good look. I knew our girl couldn't help herself, so I knew this would happen, but she's clearly dealing with some negative feelings towards him that she hasn't fully gotten over. So we see Jimmy run into a colleague that's also in the business, and Caleb and his other assistant feels like there's tension. So it leads to him basically refusing to have any type of relationship with her, and he said that he would be a horrible third, although she's married. It just was a huge misunderstanding, and she basically expressed him that she's not interested in him in that way. So he was just totally misreading the situation. It happens, but this was the little funny portion of this episode. So as this ceremony is going on, a video is playing, and we see that Deborah's former husband and creative partner gave her credit in this last film interview and basically said that she was always the funny one. She seemed touched. Her and Ava have a brief conversation, and she is just in disbelief that she would be in her feelings about this. Why would she care about what a man that took advantage of her thinks about her? This is interesting. Nonetheless, the ceremony ends, and because she said a few words but performed it like a brief stand-up, I guess it violated her contract. So we see the police approach her and Ava. And she tells Ava to get her bail money, and you know where it is. And Ava yells, "Not in LA! Where is it in LA?" So we see her in jail, and Deborah begins to ask the prisoners what they're in for. And she can't help herself. She is just basically being her usual funny self, making everyone laugh. And and the time flies by, and she eventually bails everyone out, which was very generous of her. So all the ladies are walking out of the jail, and they're just chatting. It looks like they're just gonna go and maybe have a few cocktails. So the episode fades to black. This was an interesting episode. I must say, I really didn't like it. I thought it was okay episode, and I get that we every now and then will have these episodes that touches on a personal matter, and with this, Deborah once again being taken advantage of a former man in her life, which is something that I feel we've covered before. So it was okay. It had one funny bit with Jimmy and the colleague that he thought was coming on to him. But I like the messaging. Often women are not appreciated or not given full credit for their contributions to work. So I get that, but I also feel like it's a message that we've revisited many times during the run of this show. So nonetheless, I'm going to rate this episode a B- because I didn't think it was that entertaining as the previous episodes, but I appreciate the message. If you like this review, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.